Welcome back to Platform, another episode. This is our second official episode. Um, Welcome back to the podcast where I get to interview successful business owners in their industries, and we get to talk about how they built their community, how they built their platform, and the different forms of marketing that they used to scale their business. And today I have the honor and the pleasure of speaking with a very great mentor of mine, longtime mentor. I don't know how long it's been. It's been about 3, 4 years now. Yeah, she's literally the person who got me started in the space that I'm in. Tasha Mac,
Hey,
how are you?
amazing.
Amazing. You look great,
Thank you.
of course. So I kind of want to ease in to a lot of what your background, your story, right?
Hmm.
Because you have a lot. Like
A
I've
lot.
yeah, you have a very interesting story from where you started.
Hmm.
You're from North Carolina,
South Carolina.
South Carolina
Hmm.
originally. Okay. And your background hasn't always been in the real estate industry. It hasn't always been an entrepreneur at the level that you're on. And you weren't born into this either, were you? Yeah.
No, 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 no.
And so you've made quite of a success for yourself.
Hmm.
I know you live a pretty lax life, and I want to dive into how you were able to make that possible to
Okay.
where you you run a very well-run machine. Can you start from the beginning for us, like where you first started
Hmm.
when it came to business?
Oh, business.
Yes.
Well, I was 20 years old when I became a hairstylist,
Mhm.
and that was my first business at 20, doing hair. I rented a booth in
Okay.
a salon, and I didn't know at the time that I was doing business. 20 years old, and that was back in 96. 90, yeah,
Okay.
96. So um, that's where I started, and that's how I learned the basic things or the basic principles when it comes to business. A lot of people think that business is about a roadmap or a checklist, or you have to do this, you have to do that. But business is based on principles, and
That's
that's where I
huge.
learned at
Okay.
20 years old when I started doing hair.
It's crazy because even now, like from what you just said, a lot of people think that business is like anything but principles, right? And that's kind of I'm still in that space right now where I'm like I haven't
Mm,
quite I haven't quite fully understood how to narrow it down to just that simplest form of principles. Because right now in my mind, when I think business, I think systems, I think hiring people, I think having
all the things.
all the things
Mm-mm,
together
mm-mm,
to run a business. So as a hairstylist, I mean, I don't know what it takes to be a
right.
hairstylist, but what principles did you have to develop as a hairstylist?
So, great question. So, the first thing was treat people how you want to be treated.
Mm,
That's a principle.
it is.
You don't have to have a Facebook page to do that.
Right.
That you don't have to have any of those things to treat people how you want to be treated. So that was number one. And within that, I had to learn to respect people's time.
Mm,
That's major when it comes to business.
okay.
Because I wasn't the best hairstylist, right? I just wasn't, but I had great time management skills and I had great people skills.
Okay.
So, and I solved a problem. The problem was I need my hair done and I can't do it myself. So I solved the problem, but I didn't have people wait when they walked in.
I
They
was
went right in the chair.
right.
So they didn't have to wait. They weren't there all day. And then in my era, you would go to a hair salon and you would stay 8, 9 hours for a hairdo.
Oh my goodness. I've
They
heard about
stayed,
that.
but they stayed because they wanted to hang out, not because they were waiting to get the hair done.
Okay.
And I treated them like I wanted to be treated. So I built a community. So it was just more than she's my hairstylist.
So hair was something you just had a natural knack for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My
And
mom did hair. My aunties did hair. Yeah, it was natural.
what made you go that route versus the 9 to 5?
It's funny you asked because I was a nurse at 18. I
Mm,
graduated nursing school very young, 18 years old. And I did that for 2 years. And then one day I'm on the phone with one of my girlfriends and we were just talking and I heard it like loud and clear. And it was an internal voice that said, you need to do hair. I was doing hair like on the side for like $5 in my house. But I was a nurse, right? I'm a
y-
nurse.
yeah.
But people they were coming because I started doing hair as like an early teenager.
Okay.
For free, $2, whatever you want to give me, $5. And I just heard that it was a voice inside. And then the next day, I started calling schools and I said, okay, I enrolled. And in 10 months, I had my cosmetology license. I went immediately into a salon and that was it
While you were nursing.
while I was nursing. So I was nursing first and I
Hmm.
just got this unction in my spirit to go and get my license to do hair.
To do hair, and you were able to balance or juggle the two at the same
And
time.
I was able to juggle the two at the same. And it's funny that you're talking about this because me and my husband were talking about this earlier today.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, at what point, because we have like an interview style relationship. We just do deep dives on each other.
Okay.
And so he asked me, he said, at what point did you realize that you were playing one profession against the other? Because I was.
Hmm.
And I said, I think it just happened over time. And that came with maturity. And I believe I matured quicker in business because I started at a young age.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so being able to, so I wouldn't say balance. I just think it was more of, just playing one against the other.
Just trying to, I guess, filling it out or seeing where. I don't even know if feeling it out was the word. You were just kind of
Well, at the end of the day, we all want freedom, right?
true.
So I think that's what it was. It was about having that freedom. So I couldn't have
Okay.
freedom knowing that my employer had his thumb on my neck or
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so that's how I kind of said, okay, well, instead of asking if I could have time off to take my kids on vacation, why don't I just go what they call PRN as needed and
Oh,
create my own schedule, and then I could do hair as needed, create my own schedule there, and I wouldn't have to ask anybody for time off.
wow.
I would just create my schedule.
Huh.
But I didn't know then that I was really creating my life.
Yeah. Yeah. You leveraged at best right there.
I leveraged.
Yeah.
I leveraged everything. And that's what I teach people all the time.
Hmm.
It's not how much you know. It's not, I tell people you don't sell templates. You're not really selling a book. You're not selling
Mm.
PowerPoints. You're telling people or teaching people how to leverage every aspect of their life. It's all about leverage.
Yeah.
You want to leverage your relationships. It's not about the money, it's about the leverage.
Hmm.
You want to leverage your knowledge. You want to leverage your career, everything.
Hmm.
Leverage, leverage, leverage.
When I talk to people about leverage, some people get like a sour taste in their mouth when they hear that, and I'm just like, if you don't understand, like, for one, if you don't understand you're being leveraged, like, every day, if you don't understand you're being leveraged, your job is leveraging you, everyone is leveraging you. So it's best to understand that it's okay to leverage, and, like, if you don't do it, it's gonna do you anyways.
It's going to do you anyway.
And so, it's not a I want people to really start to look at that as a positive thing and not like,
Hmm.
oh, you're using this person, or you're using this. And um, I uh, I want to talk a little bit about, because I know you used, or you leveraged the the hairstyling
Hmm.
industry as a way to segue into what you went into next,
Hmm.
was entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about how you use that space?
So again, being a hairstylist, that is being an entrepreneur. It's a business.
Right.
Whether
Okay.
you're, if you're renting a booth or you own the salon. I've owned and operated 2 salons before I moved to Florida.
Y'all hear that?
So it's a business.
And how old were you when you moved to Florida?
I was 28 when I moved to Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And you ran 2 salons, and she leveraged it to make her way into the next season in her life, which was, is it safe to consider it or call it serial entrepreneurship or?
Yeah. I think that once you're an entrepreneur, well, let's break this down.
Okay.
Let's
do it. Let's break it down.
Let's hold on.
All right.
Okay. So you can be an entrepreneur. And that means that you're working for yourself.
Okay.
And you've actually hired yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still kind of
an employee. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a business owner and just oversee a business and not really be in the business, but work on the business. That's different.
Okay.
And then you can be an investor. And you can invest in businesses. You can invest in commodities. You can invest in stocks. You can invest in real estate and things like that. And we would like to, as Robert Kiyosaki teaches, we would like to be on the B&I side, the business owner and the investor side. Mm-hmm. I don't really talk about entrepreneurship a lot because entrepreneurship is different than being a business owner and an investor.
Okay.
So doing hair, I was an entrepreneur because if I didn't work, I didn't eat. That's what entrepreneurs do.
Yeah.
If they don't work, they don't eat.
Yeah.
Right? But so I didn't segue that way because I was still a nurse.
Okay.
So I had 25 years in nursing before I said, okay, I'm going to hang my nursing hat, and I'm just going to strictly focus on being a business and having a business and being an investor. I want to really dive in on this side. Okay. So how I segued was I retired in 2018 from nursing. Mm-hmm. And then I had a little bit of money in retirement. Mm-hmm. I worked 25 years, so I had a little money in retirement, just a little bit, not a lot.
That's yeah.
And then what I did was I became a private money lender for other real estate investors who were fixing and flipping properties. So I became a private money lender just so I could learn the game of investing while I made money.
Wow.
And that's how I segued into it. You know, you have to be strategic and you have to be smart. Mm-hmm. A lot of people say, I just want to quit my job and just jump into this. Yeah. It doesn't work that way. And if you do, you're going to quickly find out I shouldn't have done it that way. Right?
Yeah.
And you end up, and there's nothing wrong with working, a job. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's something wrong with it if that's not what you want to do.
Right.
You know? Yeah. We have one life right now. You know, I don't know what happens when we're gone. Some people say we live 1,000 times. I don't know that.
Right.
I don't know how they know it, but I don't know that for sure. I know what I have now. I know that for sure. Yeah. And I know that life is short. Mm-hmm. It's but a vapor. So I want to leverage every aspect, every area of my life. And I want to segue into each area of my life, however that looks for me.
Okay. And I kind of want to go because I laughed when you said this. You know, you shouldn't just jump out of your job and leave your job. And for those who've seen, up another podcast I featured on, I think I've talked about this before, even just on my social media, is when I left the VA, like it was after I met you. Mm-hmm. And it was like, if you guys look up T-Mac, you'll see that she goes by T-Mac Inspired. She's a very inspirational woman and has been very, she's inspired me a lot in my business career. And it wasn't until I think I met you in January, the month of January. Mm-hmm. It was 2021 or 22. And we shot a podcast, my first ever podcast that I ever shot. Yep. And I want to say a month later, you told me you wanted to take me to Oklahoma
Mm-hmm.
to film you, and I was still working at my job,
Mm-hmm.
but the 9 to 5, and I had used all my paid time off already,
Mm.
so there was no using more of that because I used it back in November the year prior, and I was like, I'm not passing this up. Like I
Mm.
saw like even though I didn't like see any further than our relationship,
Mm-hmm.
I saw how powerful you were,
Mm.
and it took one believing in myself,
For sure.
100%, but also uh, it took a mentor, it took a coach,
Mm-hmm.
like someone like her to kind of push me in that direction or just offer me an opportunity. And a lot of us do kind of pass up
Opportunities. Uh-huh.
opportunities because of themselves, like they're not confident in themselves.
Right.
And so I wouldn't say I was in the best place when I left my job.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a scary leap
Mm-hmm.
because I was only with the VA for 5 years, so you could think, well, 4 years. So
Mm-hmm.
retirement ain't. It wasn't that. It wasn't. Or
Right,
whatever
right, right.
was.
That wasn't an
It
option
wasn't.
at the
Yeah.
time. Right, right, right.
So yeah, it was definitely a milestone and something I'll always remember when it comes to my life. So
Mm-hmm.
just so you guys know, this is the lady, T Mac,
Oh.
Tasha McCray. I kind of look at her as my mom. We're both Leos,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like my business mom. And um, I kind of want to talk about how you live this life that a lot of people kind of they admire.
Mm.
A lot of people
Okay.
admire.
Okay.
Um, and you're very athletic. Tell us about because you play golf,
I do.
right? Do you play any other sports right now?
Tennis.
Tennis. She plays golf and tennis. Tell us the background about golf. I know you and I briefly talked about
Mm-hmm.
golf and how that also kind of caters to the world of business for you. But at the same time, it's something you enjoy.
Oh, I love golf.
So, what got you into golf?
So I started playing golf because of my husband. He's been
Okay.
playing for 20 something years.
Okay.
So before we met, when we got together, I was just playing tennis.
Mm.
And he kind of introduced me to the golfing world. And I was like, I wasn't that into it. I would go and maybe play a couple holes with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd just sit in the cart, right? I wasn't really into it. Um, and then I think it was the beginning of last year, 2024.
Okay.
I was going through just a whole bunch of craziness with an old business acquaintance,
Okay.
being nice here.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was just a whole lot of things that could go wrong. It did go
It
wrong
went wrong.
with this relationship. And I considered her a really good friend of mine and went through a lot during that time. And I said, I just need to get outside and just take my mind off of this whole thing. Tennis wasn't enough because I would only play maybe an hour and a half of tennis.
Okay.
And then I would come home and I'd still feel the same way. But
Mm.
golf was something that I said, you know what, let me just take my bag and just go out and just play around. And I played around a golf. My husband, he was out of town. He works out of town a lot. So I said, let me just go play some golf. And I played around, and a round is like 9 or 18 holes.
Okay.
So I played a round of golf, and I felt like I was garbage,
Mm-hmm.
but I felt good. Like my mind just felt like, oh,
Hmm.
I wasn't thinking about anything but trying to hit this little ball.
In the hole.
Right, in
Yeah.
a hole. And so I did it again. And then I did it again. And then my husband went with me one day, and he was like, you're doing really good. I'm like, I am? And so the competitive nature in me said, okay, let me start taking some lessons. So I took about 4 or 5 lessons, private lessons, and then I took a couple group lessons, and I'm like, okay. And then just one day I told him, I said, I'm gonna be in some tournaments. I think I'm gonna be in some tournaments.
And
And
this was after how long of you
he was
starting?
like 2 or 3 months, and he was like, you're not ready for that yet now. Come on. And I was like, but I that's what I want to do. And I didn't say anything else about it. And then one day, one of my golf coaches called me, and she was like, hey, she's a pro. She
Okay.
said, we're having a pro-am tournament, and I wanted to know if you wanted to be on the team. I said, absolutely. Talking about opportunity? I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't think, oh, my handicap is only this,
Or
and
I'm
oh,
not.
I'm not that
Yeah.
great. I said, absolutely. And then I joined her team, and we played at Innisbrook, where Tiger Woods played here in Florida. We played a
Wow.
beautiful course, Copperhead, and it
Okay.
was like something I'd never ever imagined. And I was like, oh, this is my life now. So I joined a ladies league. I play every Tuesday
Okay.
morning, and then I joined another league. And I just found out this morning that I got Player of the Month in that league.
What?
Player
Congratulations.
of the Month. Thank you.
And you've been playing golf for how long now?
So seriously, for a little over a year.
Okay. And you're already
Oh yeah,
golf of the
I'm
year.
all in.
Wow. Honestly, after our last conversation about talking about golf, I went
Uh-huh.
home and I told my girl, I was like, I think I want to play golf. I
Oh
want
yeah,
to try. I want to try it. I want to
try
try
it.
it out. And not just because of the business side of it and the opportunities that exist in that space, but I mean, I do need something to do outside of this.
Listen, golf will open. It's a whole different world.
Hmm.
Tennis, yeah, like I've played in tennis tournaments and traveled a little bit, in a couple of tournaments.
Hmm.
It's different. Tennis, you're playing against somebody on the other side, and
Right.
it's very intense. There's no talking. There's no how are you and what's going on. None of that.
Right.
And then after the tournament or whatever, you go your separate ways. Golf, you're spending an average of 4 hours
Mm.
with strangers
Yeah.
during the day, during the week. I'm not a weekend golfer. I golf
Okay.
during the week in the mornings. And those people are a different caliber.
Okay.
Most, if not all, were business owners or investors or investors. There's no, the conversation is totally different.
Hmm.
It will take you to another level.
Wow.
It's not just about golf. It's about connections. It's about making deals, and it's really real and it's really true. And I have made some deals on the golf course, like for real deals. And it will blow your mind.
That part, just that part of the golf culture,
It's
it's
crazy.
I think there was a part of me that's just like I didn't get it for the longest until I continuously heard it, and then hearing you say it, which
Yeah,
I take everything you say with just like 100%. Like
yeah,
if she says it, then that's what it is,
it is.
and so I'm very interested in seeing that. Like I've been on a golf course before, filming, doing content. Of course, I'm not communicating with people.
So what do you
Um,
see when you're there?
when I'm there, everyone's having a good time. Like everyone's like, there's definitely no type of friction. Like it's just a space of connecting.
Hmm.
Everyone is connecting, regardless of if you what color you are, what
Right.
like
It's
what.
not like I got to go to work.
Yeah, right.
I got to make this sale. If I don't make this sale, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. You don't
No,
get that.
no, not at all. And I didn't see that. And it was it was a golf course in Orlando. It was some big golf. I can't remember the name of it. The person that's on the same route as you, like they'll come by and they'll just start having a conversation,
Mhm.
just out of nowhere. And of course, business did come up in the conversation, not with me, but with the
Yeah,
person I was
filming.
filming.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, wow, this is like, and it's a nice day out.
Hmm.
And we spent maybe 3 hours, 9 holes.
Hmm.
And yeah, so for me, I want to get into that space. I don't know where to go. I live in Tampa Palms. I know it's golf court,
Oh
like
yeah. Oh yeah.
golf communities all over the
Yeah.
place out there.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that you've closed deals. Would you say some of your most, uh, I guess, bigger deals were on the golf course?
Absolutely. These are
Yeah,
deals that social media will never hear about. I always tell
that's
people real money's not made on social media. Let's
uh-huh.
be clear. It's a good platform. These are good platforms,
Yeah,
so people can know you, so they can flow you, right?
right.
For people to get to know you, like you, trust you.
Hmm.
But it's oranges to apples.
Right. Yeah.
That's I don't want to say play money. People say they make a lot of money on social media. Okay,
It's not. There's no way.
it's different. It's
So
different.
what? I don't know, I got stuck in the social media. So this is a marketing podcast, right?
For
Like
sure.
it's what I specialize in. It's what I like
For sure.
obsess over, and just figuring out different ways to market. And so what you just said to me, because there's so much of the marketing now that does exist on social media,
Hmm.
but what you just explained is not happening on social media. I do look at it as a form of marketing, putting yourself in a space where you can connect with people
Hmm.
and potentially close deals. Um, you mentioned that a lot of what you do, the way you live your life,
Hmm.
has brought you a lot of business, and doing golfing is one of the things. It's your
Hmm.
lifestyle. Can you talk a little bit about how that form of marketing has contributed to your business success, and not just golfing, but all around you living your life the way you live your life?
Um, I feel like because of the era that we're in now,
Hmm.
I believe in the era that we're in or we're exiting is the partnership era. That's my belief.
Yeah.
It's the partnership era.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like in order to attract the right partners, because we don't want to do this alone. You don't
Right.
want to do anything alone. It,
Right.
it, it takes too long. You're going to lose a lot of time and you're going to lose a lot of money when you're trying to do things alone.
I agree.
That's just the way it is.
Hmm.
So in the partnership era, the way it should look on social media is this is my life for real, for real.
Mm.
Like I do this. This is what I do. This is who I am. Like I get up in the morning, I'm meditating, I'm riding my Peloton. I might go for a walk. I walk my dogs, making my husband coffee. This is what I
Hmm.
do for real, for real.
Yeah.
Uh, you know,
RV is
we're RVing.
that's
We're
life.
doing all the things.
Yeah.
I'm on the golf course. I'm playing tennis. This is who I am.
Hmm.
So if you're on the other side, like if you're on your phone and you're scrolling and you see me on one of these platforms doing one of the things that I do every
Hmm.
day, then eventually there's something inside of you that says, you know what? I think I have something that we could work together on some stuff. Because
Okay.
periodically I might post a property that I have, or I'm rehabbing a property, or I'm taking my mentees on to the tax sales to buy properties cash, things like
Right.
that. I'll post that. And then eventually, you know what? I have something we might could work on together.
Yeah. Because now you connected differently now.
You
Like they
connect
more
differently.
human, like
Right,
people, like not just
right.
advertise, advertise, advertise,
Because a lot of
advertise.
people are on social media to get clients.
Mm.
So they're going to show their rented cars and their rented Airbnbs that are not really their homes, and
Yeah.
like that's not it.
Mm-mm.
And after a while, people will see through that, and then the authenticity is not there,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So when I post, I'm very intentional, and I'm posting because number one, I want you to see what I do for real, for real.
Hmm.
And then number two, I want you to see how I can be an added value to what you have going on. And I want you to start thinking on how you can add value to my life so
Right.
we can go into a partnership.
Partnership, and not just a
Not
transactional.
just I've never been a transactional woman.
Mm.
Remember what I said when I was 20 years old and started doing hair?
Yeah.
People would be at the salon all day, but they stayed because it was a community.
Yes.
That's not transactional.
Mm.
Treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
That's a principle. Remember? I said that in the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. You did.
That's a principle. So I didn't talk about, well, you need to have your font needs to look like this and your hex code, and you need to have a website. I didn't talk about that because
That is huge.
it's about principles.
That is huge. You.
People get caught up in the wrong things.
I just took a very large mental note in all caps
What was that mental
with
note?
bold letters. I am. I have just redefined. Well, she has just helped me redefine community and platform
Yeah.
and what it's built upon. It's not social media. It's not online. It's community and platform is built upon person-to-person relationship. It's built upon connection
Connection.
and through lifestyle.
That's it. How would you, now think about it this way. You are, let's say, within 5 years of your, I'm not going to say entrepreneurship, on your building your business,
Yeah.
your brand, right? Think about people who are contemplating on building a brand, building a business.
Mm.
What were some of your roadblocks when you started? Well, then that's what your business should be based on.
Right.
Period. Nothing else, nothing to the left, to the
Oh,
right of that.
wow.
That's the community you build.
You said a whole word, because a lot of people get lost
In the
like
sauce.
in the sauce,
In
because
the sauce.
you get started because of a certain reason or whatever it was, and then once you're in it for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, the masses
You
kind
get
of
lost in the sauce. I've done it. I've been there.
Yeah.
I've built an amazing, I had like 1,100 nurses in my community.
Right.
We had a Facebook group and I was teaching them how to buy real estate, and I was actually buying real estate with them and going to different, not sales, but going to different cities and
Mm-hmm.
buying and fixing and flipping. I was actually doing it with them because I knew how it felt to be a beginner and want to get out of the rat race.
Right.
So I built that community, right? I allowed my feelings and
Mm-hmm.
emotions because they thought if they gave $1,000 they'd become a millionaire the next year or something like that, and I
Yeah.
allowed that part to interfere with what I was doing with the initial building
Mm-hmm.
of the community. And I said, screw it, I'm done. I can't do this. Like I'm trying to help y'all and y'all beating me down. I'm the leader.
Right. Right.
I'm in it with y'all. Y'all beating me down. And so I allowed that, and I shouldn't have, but
Yeah.
I did.
That can be draining. It can
It could be draining.
even cause you to shift gears and just totally, I guess you could say, lose yourself in a way.
Yes, but
Mm-hmm.
instead I should have just pivoted.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
should have said, okay, instead of paying, $19.99 a month. Oh no, first it was free,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was $19.99 a month, and then I went up to $47 a month, and
Okay.
then I stopped it. And instead of stopping it, I should have, at that $47, I should have had another, okay,
Tier.
not a continuity offer, but another level.
Like another core
Because
product.
as you grow, your community should be growing with you.
Yes.
And then you'll have new people come in, and then they're at the beginning.
Yeah.
But you should always grow and have your community grow with you. And you should always have something to offer
Mm-hmm.
your community. And that was another mistake
That you stopped.
or a learning curve. Yeah.
You didn't.
I stopped. And I was like, and then I had to start over.
Yeah.
When I realized, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, because they kept reaching out like, hey,
Yeah.
we don't have anywhere to go. We don't have anybody teaching us. And one thing one of my old mentors taught me was, a client or a customer, whatever you want to call them,
Mm-hmm.
partner, whatever you want to call them, there's always something you can teach them.
Mm.
Because once you solve one problem, it's going to create 10 more. Don't solve one problem and leave them hanging.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Right?
Yeah, and I experienced that for a long time,
Yeah.
where I solved the problem, and it took me a little while to realize that there was a problem that existed after that problem, and the
10 more.
10 more.
There were 10 more.
And and I didn't necessarily, I guess you could say, I didn't necessarily have like that part of my business built out, like prepared to help them with that problem.
You don't have to have it built out. They will teach you, show you how to build it out. You know why? You know how? Because they're going to tell you what that problem is. So let's say, for instance, I'm working with 100 nurses.
Okay.
And Their problem is they feel overworked and undervalued on their job, which leads to burnout. So they're
Yeah,
burnout, right?
definitely. Yeah.
They're working.
12-hour
And
shifts.
it's 16-hour shifts,
16.
7 days a week, and then they feel undervalued,
Uh-huh.
and then they get burnt out. And they do it year after year after year after year, and then they come to me,
Oh, they need a
and
solution.
they're like, I can't keep doing this. I need a way out. And I was like, oh, the issue, it's not the burnout. That's not the problem. The problem, burnout is a solution. I mean, it's a side effect,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
The problem is you're working for your money, and your money's not working for you. Your money's unemployed. Your credit is unemployed. You got to put your credit to work and put your money to work. So people think they think they come to me because they want to get in real estate.
Yeah.
Real estate is not that sexy.
Yeah. I've learned.
It's
over time.
not that
Yeah.
sexy.
Yeah.
What is sexy is seeing me on the golf course whenever I want to be, or driving my Porsche, letting the top down and doing whatever, going wherever I want to go, hopping on planes, getting in my RV, playing tennis, doing the things, going to my grandchildren's ball games and hanging
Right.
out and going on expensive trips. That's the sexy part.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a principle that had to be put in place to get me to that sexy part. The principle was you have to stop working for money and let your money work for you.
Now, even if we go back, because I wanted to say this in the beginning when we're talking about leverage. Immediately when you left nursing, you put your money to work immediately from what you've told.
Immediately.
Yeah,
Immediately.
and you started investing in really, like, you immediately. Where did you get
Immediately.
that from? Where did that come from? Did you have a
It
coach, a mentor?
came from being burnt out. That was a symptom. I said a side effect. That's a symptom.
A symptom.
It
Okay.
was a symptom. And I needed to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to fix that. So it wasn't that I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't own anything. When I left nursing in 2018, I had no ownership of anything.
Okay.
I didn't own anything. I had nothing.
Yeah.
But what I had was, I had a little bit of money in retirement that I leveraged,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And I had enough sense to say, I need to do some more research on this real estate thing, and I leveraged my knowledge. Like nobody's coming to save me. Nobody's coming to save you.
Mm-mm.
You're gonna have to put some skin in the game. I had to put some skin in the game. I had to learn a little bit of a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then I just started networking. And I'm like, if these people are offering $10 to go to a meetup, and everybody that's in this meetup are real estate investors,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pay the $10, get in my cart, and go to the meetup.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, it's the little things that don't look sexy to everybody. They don't want to do the little things, but if you do the little things, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah.
So if I were to give a random person, let's say a random homeless person, $1 million,
Mm-hmm.
within a year, that person would be broke.
I agree.
So money's not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So people always think, oh, it's the money, I want the money. No, money is not the problem. If you've been a nurse and you've made, let's say you're making $40 an hour,
Mm-hmm.
and you're working 16 hours, and you're bringing home, I don't know, $2,000, $3,000 a week, money should not be a problem.
Right. I kind of had to wrap my head around the homeless person going broke, which you're saying that is in, like, he would take that money and not put it to work for him, correct?
Right.
It would just go to waste.
It would go to waste.
And
the first thing he or she would do is to start helping their other homeless friends by just giving them the money.
yeah.
Not, or buying something, or going to buy somebody a car, buy somebody this never
Mm-mm.
changed.
Yeah. Yeah. That and use the money, don't let the money use you, because the money will definitely use you.
Yeah,
And all the luxurious things you can buy
yeah,
with it, that's the number one way money can use you. And
absolutely.
you chose an industry to make your money work for you, that it's a powerful industry. Like you said, it's not sexy, but if you want to put your money to work for you,
You
I
could do
mean,
it
I'd choose real estate any day. So
over anything.
yes, and you've like I'm intrigued at the way you do real estate investing.
Hmm.
I've seen you go from like to mobile homes to group homes. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other things that I'm not
Private
aware.
money lending.
Private money
Oh
lending.
yeah,
I think I've seen you
I've fixed and
mention
flipped some properties.
fix and
Yeah.
flips, and I think I heard you mention one time about like over the counter deals or something like that.
Hmm.
Never heard of it before, but I'm like,
I buy properties over the counter with my credit card, all that. I do it all. I've done it all in real estate. As far as, you know,
how outside
simple
of
things.
right, so I'm very familiar with real estate when it like I don't know much about investing, but I know a lot about it when it comes to being a realtor because my girlfriend, she's a
Hmm.
realtor, so I've studied a little bit of what she
Hmm.
knows with her, and I know that they have a very interesting way of when it comes to marketing, and I know like from what I know about you, a lot of yours is lifestyle marketing. Like you market you just your lifestyle
Yeah,
and
but well, really, it's networking.
networking.
Yeah, as an
Yes,
investor, it's all about relationships. So
relate.
it's
Okay.
networking. So there's no cold calling for me. There's none of that. It's if I have a property and I want to rent it out,
Hmm.
then I hire a property management company, right?
Okay.
The property management company works for who?
The investor.
The investors.
Hmm.
So I'm not the only investor they're working for. They're working for hundreds of other investors, right?
Right.
So guess what happens? You leverage the relationship with your property management company or property manager.
Hmm.
You leverage that and you let them know, hey, whenever one of your other clients
Hmm.
when they want to get off their portfolio,
Hmm.
let me know.
And that's it.
Yeah, let me know if
And
they
they're
need to
they're
sell,
bringing you,
and they're bringing me
you
deals.
clients. You're not looking for
I'm
them.
not looking for deals.
That's powerful.
You know,
Wow.
when I want
And
to learn about a different city
yeah.
that I want to possibly go and invest in,
Hmm.
then I find somebody in that city
Hmm.
and I start asking questions. And then the biggest thing is I leverage the internet, because what people don't know is, and this is a cheat code, is every city has like city council meetings.
Okay.
They post their minutes online. So if you want to know what's going on or what's about to happen
Yeah.
5, 10 years from now, whatever, in a city, go online, go into their minutes and read their minutes
What are minutes?
from their meetings.
Okay. Okay.
So the notes, whatever they talked about in the meeting,
Oh,
they have
this
to type it up and they have to post
it's
it.
public.
It's public information.
Oh.
I've done most of my work online. I leverage the internet. I
Oh.
leverage every area of my life.
Make sure y'all write that down. Like
Yeah,
I'm currently reading a book. It's called The Leverage Black Book. And it's oh my goodness. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, leverage is key to literally just
everything.
life. Do you have to be a realtor to do what you do?
No, I'm not a realtor. I don't desire to be one. Um, it kind of restricts an investor,
Uh-huh.
kind of, sort of, because you have to disclose everything, and then people start looking at you funny, like, are you really taking more than you should take? That kind
Exactly.
of thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to muddy the waters that way.
Hmm.
Um, so I just like being an investor.
We can't even, well, I won't even dive that deep into the marketing because I feel like you answered that question,
Hmm.
as in it comes to you. Like
Yeah,
after the
you have to
relationships you've
network.
built, right after the relationships you've built through networking, which is another form of marketing. You may hear it as like network marketing, but I mean, there's a kind
It's
of a
different.
gray
Yeah.
line between that, but there's networking and then you have other forms of marketing. When it comes to your digital products,
Hmm.
do you have like just a number one way online when you're marketing that you prefer to go, that works best for you, such as affiliate marketing?
Um, well, what I like is I like different platforms that offer the consumer an opportunity to become an affiliate without me having to ask. So I use a platform that way.
Okay.
That whenever before they check out, it'll say like on the top, if you share this on your social media page or your post, if you
Mm.
post this on your social media profile, then you'll get 10% off or 15% off of this product right now before you buy it.
What?
Yeah, so I don't have to go out and ask people, oh, if you market this so and so, I'll give you this. So I like those kind of platforms that it just automatically it takes the guesswork out. It takes the what is she trying to get from me? All that
Yeah,
out of it, and it works. So and then people will repost it so they can get their 10 or their 15%
15% off.
off.
And
Yes, it's just yeah.
that's I you would think I've heard of affiliate marketing, but that's a different version than what
I'll
I'm
show it to you.
familiar with.
I'll show it to you.
Please.
I'll show it to you.
So, because I'm familiar with, the only way that I know affiliate marketing to be is you provide somebody with a link after they bought and they share it, and every time that someone clicks the link and purchases, they get paid.
Right.
Um, and what you just pretty much explained was, regardless of whether people buy,
Hmm.
just share it and you can get you're basically going to get money back.
Yeah.
You're going to get
Right
some
then and
money back.
there.
Right.
Instant gratification. That's what people want
And that's
anyway.
what people want.
That's what they
I
want.
love that.
I mean, there's different ways, yeah, a million different ways, to set up affiliates. That's just my go-to, my favorite. You asked about my favorite. That's my
That's
favorite.
it.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not expect that. Are you right now currently, are you selling any products? Like as
My
far
products, I make money in my sleep. Yeah, they just keep selling. It's funny because I took a screenshot this morning and showed it to my husband. I was like, I made $2,000. I woke up Saturday morning. I had like $2,000 I had made the day before, and I'm like, I didn't even know I made this money. He was like, how did you not know? I was like, I didn't check. It didn't send me like a. It may have sent
and then,
a notification, but I was playing golf all day Saturday. Remember, I was playing golf all day in a tournament.
yeah.
So I didn't know, and I just happened to look at it today, and I saw it was an extra $2,000. I was like, "Oh wow, that's cool." So yeah, you just put it. So I'm always selling. My husband say
What?
eight. He calls it I forgot it's an acronym or something, but anyway,
Mhm.
be always
Always.
be selling or something like that. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, so yeah, you're always selling.
2,000 in your sleep, just like
In my
that.
sleep, I
You
was like,
didn't have to lift an arm, a finger.
wow, this is cool.
Don't y'all
I'm gonna
don't
show it
y'all
to you. I'm
love?
show you my screenshot. You could be like,
And as y'all can see why I gravitated towards her. I feel like I'm in a coaching session. Like I'm being coached right now because I've learned a lot over the last 45 minutes that we've been sitting here.
yeah.
And like I know we can go deep.
Oh yeah, deep,
I
deep, deep,
know we
deep,
can
deep.
go deep. I know, like, just from the spaces that you've brought me into,
Mm-hmm.
the people that I've met because of you, the things that I've learned because of you. I remember sitting on a plane with T Mac. Um, I would go through the whole story, this whole experience, like, from the Delta Lounge and everything. We were sitting on a plane, and she referred to me two books. The first book, I believe, I want to say at the same time, the first book was Boss Moves.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
then Oversubscribed was the second book.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have that book. I'm on my second time reading it right now.
Good book.
I love that book. There's so many different, like, methods when it comes to marketing, and I've seen you apply a lot of these methods into your business. Um, and I want to talk about this book in front of us right now.
Oh, okay.
We Should All Be Rich Friends.
Oh yeah.
You guys look at this. This is, I mean, it'll catch anybody's eye. Like, literally, it don't matter where you're at. Like, I'm pretty sure, unless you're inside of, I don't want to do any plugs, but
Yeah.
unless you're in a place that's just pinked out,
Yeah.
which is very rare,
Right.
you're gonna notice this book.
Hmm.
Was outside, is that your favorite color?
Pink is my favorite color.
Pink is your favorite color. Did you, when you designed the book cover, it's a great picture, by the way.
Thank you.
When you designed the book cover, was there any thought behind how you wanted this to look in
Mm-mm.
regards? No,
I didn't design it.
no.
Um, yeah, the publisher, or the guy that helped me with the book, he asked me for some pictures. He said, "Send me about 10 pictures."
Mhm.
And so I sent him 10 pictures, and he asked me my favorite color, and I told him, and then he shot that over to me, and I was like, "Oh, I like that." I'm very, very simple, very simple.
Yeah, well, he knew what he was doing.
He got it. He
Yeah,
nailed it. He nailed
yeah.
it. Yeah, very simple. So, yeah, he did it, and then I gave Myron Golden,
Hmm.
um, my mentor,
Yeah,
one of my mentors. I gave him a copy, and I asked him um, if, and he read it, and he asked him for feedback, and he called me up and he gave me feedback. He was like, "Wow, wow," and he was just like, "It's just wow," and I was like, "Well, I wanted your feedback, and I also kind of wanted to see if you write a forward." He was like, "You don't have to ask me." He said, "I'd be honored to write the forward," and he wrote the forward and he sent it over, and I sent it back off
wow.
to my I
That,
don't know, the publisher. I don't know, whatever you call them. See, I'm not into that. It's
yeah,
not my thing. So I sent it back to them, and they put the book together and said, "Okay,
wow.
here it is." So, and then I went on book tour last year before
Hmm.
last, whenever it was. I went on a book tour and to different cities, met a lot of cool people. There's
Hmm.
more to it than just selling the book, because what I teach my high level clients,
Yeah,
when I say high level, it's not that anybody's low level, but
yeah,
it's just that they're premium clients because they pay me a lot of money.
yeah.
And what I teach them is in the book.
Okay, so you could either buy the book.
You can buy the book for like, I don't know, $20, $30, or you
Hmm.
can pay me $55,000 a year, and I could teach you what's in the book.
And the powerful thing, it's crazy because like I didn't read many books before I met T Mac, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I read first Boss Moves,
Mm-hmm.
I think, and the book has nothing to do about reading. Like that book is not telling you to
Yeah,
read more. It's not saying read, but the power that was in that book made me realize how important it is to read, like
very,
to grab a book and read a book,
very,
because that book changed my life.
very important.
Like, yeah, that book did a lot. I'm probably gonna read it 4 times
Right.
over and over again. But knowing your background, knowing what you know, I'm surprised I haven't already picked this book up,
Right.
but I'm going to. And if you guys caught it, her premium offer that her high-paying clients are paying her is in this book. A lot of people choose not to read, not saying it's, why not? Like it's not okay to get a coach. Get a coach, definitely get a coach.
Mm-hmm.
But
Some people just want to get there faster.
some people want to get there faster,
That's
and
it.
so you hire someone like T
That's it.
Mac. Um, but a group of people who will never pick up a book and will never experience what I experienced
Mm-hmm.
just from simply picking up a book that cost me $30,
Right.
and it did a lot. It didn't do what it would have been if I paid the person who wrote the book
Mm-hmm.
to help me and take me by the hand.
Mm-hmm.
But it did a lot,
Yeah.
and it kind of goes back to what you had mentioned about like taking your consumer
Mm-hmm.
um, through each level. It doesn't
Right.
matter if they can afford $10 or if they can afford ten thousand
Right.
dollars.
And I have it all. I have a lot
Mm-hmm.
of free stuff on free
Mm,
stuff out there, right?
yeah,
Um, I have stuff for, I don't know, $9. I have stuff, this book is probably $20, $30.
hmm,
I have a community of women, um, and it's $97 a month.
yeah,
That's not a lot.
right,
And they get an hour with me every month. Plus, they get to ask questions in the community all the time for $97. Or I charge $5,000 an hour for consults. People come to me and they just want me to fix one or two things in their business or their life, and
yeah,
they pay me $5,000. I give them an hour, and they're fixed. They go on about their business. And then I have people that are like, no, I want you for a year, and then they pay me $55,000.
$55,000.
Yeah, and I have sometimes I'll do like if it's specialized, like I'll do like a like an investor's course kind of thing,
Yeah.
or something where I'll do it for like 6 months and maybe charge maybe 10 grand or something
Okay.
specialized or something like that. But
So you have every level somebody can get.
Somebody can learn, they can take it and grow.
So you have this program, the Nurse REI,
Mm-hmm.
it's a virtual program that you have.
Oh well, no, I do a
The,
like a nurse boot camp,
the
a
nurse
nurse
boot
REI
camp.
boot camp.
Okay, and how much is that one?
So it's like, I don't know, maybe like $250.
Okay.
They get 2 days with me. So if $250 2 days versus $5,000 for 1 hour, I would take the $250. Right.
Yeah.
So and then I just teach. I just start teaching. Teaching them about real estate, how to get in, where to go, what to look for, things like that. Give them how to analyze the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Those things. I do that for 2 days.
Wow.
And then if they decide, okay, well, you have a program that's not 55,000, but and that's for more than just nurses. That's for women they've been in business. They're stuck at maybe like 100K or 200K or 300K a year, and they want to make that and 10x their business. Then I teach them, and then they go off and do wonderfully.
I remember.
You see that?
Yes. I remember. I do remember that when I within that time frame. It was a constant reminder. Something you continue to hear is that the students that you had were making a lot of money, and you were like, "What?" You in the beginning, because I think you had just kind of were testing the waters, and you were like, "Okay, I'm not charging enough."
Right?
I'm like, "Hold on."
Yeah, I was charging $25,000 a year, but they were making $100,000 in 3 days.
Yeah.
Or 6 days. And then I had one mentee. She made $1 million in 8 months, and her CPA was like, "What are you doing? Who is your coach? Like, what is she teaching you?"
Right.
And I'm like, I ain't charging enough then, But yeah, so I mean, it's not. It's really like it's not me.
Yeah.
It's nothing. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just creating an environment for people to win. That's all I'm doing. It's creating a winner's environment.
Yeah, and if you don't realize by now, everything you say to me, whether it's recorded or not, because this is the first time our conversation's ever been recorded.
Right.
I remember it, right?
Right.
And I remember you had said recently that we need to redefine the result that we are providing for our clients.
Absolutely.
And because that was something that I was stuck on for the longest. It's like, just what's the result? Am I getting them XYZ? Am I getting them are they making this much more money after they met me? Am I getting them this many more followers on Instagram? Am I getting them this? And you help me boil it down to, it's not about any of that. It's about, did you provide them the tools that are necessary for them to be successful?
Period.
And I'm like, AKA, did you create the space that will allow them to be successful? And I see I see the truth in that so much, because
makes it easy, right?
It makes it easy. Like, you don't have to,
because you're doing what you're good at.
Yes.
You're doing what you love. You're doing what you're good at. It's not a job. You're not doing it begrudgingly. You're not doing it because, oh my God, can I pay my bills? It's none of that.
Yeah.
You're saying, this is what this is the problem I solve. And this is how I solve the problem. That's it. This is the problem I solve. This is how I solve the problem. I am totally creating a winning environment for my clients.
Wow.
Winning. And when they win, I win.
And exactly. I said that a lot. I'm like, I guess win needed to be redefined too. Because
for sure,
my win was just like, when they make money, I win. And it's like, it's not, granted, yes, I want my clients to make money, like, because that's what they're coming to me for. They need to get out of like whatever situation they're in.
Or maybe it's just exposure. They just need more exposure. That creates that environment for them to make more money. It's the exposure
Yeah. And I would imagine being in any one of your circles, you're exposed to a lot of value, and not just the the tools and the
Right,
resources and the information, but the
right,
people.
right.
And
It's
it's
always it's you're they'll be able to leverage that exposure that you've created through whatever whichever platform.
yeah,
So they can leverage the exposure. The exposure is what's going to open up and for people to say, "Oh, they do exist. This person does exist, and I
yeah,
want to work with this person, or I want to buy this from this person, or whatever. I want to be in this person's sphere of influence, whatever."
yeah,
So that's what you're creating, right?
yeah. And for you, people are attracted to her because of her lifestyle before
You
they
think
even.
so?
Well, when it comes to like what they, because I remember you mentioned that this lady was like, I just watch you ride your bike every day, and I just want to.
Exactly. She did.
Like it was the lifestyle. Like I just like for me, I didn't know that about you when I first met you. I
Hmm.
had just met you in the space that it
Right.
was in. But the more I got to know you, I mean, I see your lifestyle, and you
Hmm.
guys are very relaxed. Your kids seem to live a
I mean,
very.
you've been to our house.
I've been to the house. Like you guys are like you come to my house, it's like whiteboards and check marks everywhere,
Been
and
there.
we're trying to like we're up till 7 a.m.
Been
sometimes trying to
there.
get stuff. I'm like, oh.
Been there.
But I guess you have to get
I've been
you have
there.
to go through the emoji. It's not just gonna happen like that.
It's not good. It's not. And if it does happen just like that, how long do you think you can sustain that?
Hmm. Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It can happen faster, but it's not going to happen like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, and I'm going to say this real quick, and I know we've been on here forever,
Hmm.
but a lot of times, what I found with some of my clients or past clients is that they achieved a super high level of success super fast by working with me, but they weren't able to sustain it because they hadn't changed completely internally,
Mindset.
right?
Or yeah.
So, a lot of things came and kind of wiped them out, and they're like, well, I don't have the money to renew or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
principles.
Yeah.
The reason why I wake up at 5 a.m. is so that I can spend an hour by myself before anybody wakes up so I can get this thing built up inside,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So if something does happen, it doesn't wipe me out. It can wipe my bank account out, but it won't wipe me out. Why? Because what I know, I know.
What you
Nobody can
have
take that
here.
away. And if I make $2 or $3, $4, $5, $6 million and I lose it all, I make it again.
Hmm. Have you been to that point
Oh,
where you've
absolutely,
had to start over? Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's
I've lost $350,000 in one real estate deal before. 350, one real estate deal, not two, not three, one in one deal. Lost it. And guess what? I'm here.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, thank God I had it to lose.
Hmm.
And then if I can do that, do it again, and do it again, and do it again. Because what
So
I knew to get that, what I did to get that,
you just
hey, just do it again.
do it again, and then you know how to avoid it the
I
next
know how
time.
to avoid it.
So as you guys can see, like I mean, if you guys haven't already gotten a lot of value in this podcast, I know I have. Um, I I wanna jump into this next part of the podcast where I kind of like to call it the game show style of it, right?
Okay.
It's the entertaining. This is how we want to close it out, and it's just gonna it's nothing too off the wall, but um, it's gonna be some questions that are gonna pop up on here. I just want you to
You want
give
me to
me.
read that?
Well, you don't have to read it, but
Oh,
I'll
I
read
need
it.
my glasses.
I'll read it for you.
Oh, you read it for
Yeah,
me?
I'll read it for you.
Okay. Look,
I'll read it for you. No
don't
worries.
forget now. I can't see that far.
No, okay, I got you. I got you. So, this one's fill in the blank.
Okay.
All right. Um, what I love the most about what I do is blank.
Helping people.
Okay. If you had one more hour in the day, I'd use it to.
Play golf.
Mm. Look, y'all, I'm about to get on that golf field.
Play more
It's
golf.
something in that. It's something in that grass that I'm not privy to. Okay, next one. This or that. Work late nights to perfect the details or launch and refine as you go.
Launch and refine as I go.
All right, now this one is the rapid fire round. So you
Okay.
just
Okay.
quick answer. All right. What's the most overused buzzword in business right now?
Can I say a buzz phrase?
Yeah.
Get in the room.
Get in the room. I like that. All right. And then some of the best advice you ever received from a coach.
Treat people how you want to be treated.
Principle.
It's a principle.
Principle. All right. Single family homes or multifamily properties?
Single family homes.
Single family homes?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then I'm going to play this video.
Welcome back. Oh, yeah, man. How you doing? You good? I know you like that.
Dope. I
I
like
love
that.
I love that video
Yeah.
because it says a lot. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for someone like me who understands you just a little bit,
Uh-huh.
I look at this and I go, like, she's somebody who truly practices what she preaches.
Absolutely.
Like, there's not one thing you've ever told me that I haven't seen you do.
Mm-hmm.
And can you explain to me just a little bit to the viewers what's going on in this video and, you know, like how long ago this was?
I'm about to cry. Because number one, my husband is my biggest supporter. I said he's my first business coach. I always say that. He's like my life coach.
Mm-hmm.
For real. Like we literally do deep dives all the time, and he asks questions that nobody else will, even the coaches I pay a lot of money for, would ever ask me. He asks those real serious questions, those life-changing questions.
Wow.
So to see him with my book and acting up like that, that's cool. Yeah, and he wanted to be here today.
Yeah.
But he was in a lot of meetings. Yeah, he was
Oh.
like, tell Trey I say hello. But so that, and then that was obviously when I was on book tour
Mm-hmm.
last year. Seeing the people, being able to connect, talk to people who see me on social media but haven't met me for real.
Yeah.
And it's like literally know that I've really, really changed their life even before the book.
Right.
You know, and they're like, oh my God. And they think they know me and my husband like personally. Like, where's Benny? And Benny. You know, he's the funny one.
Yeah.
Out of,
Benny, wish you were here.
Yeah, of the two of us, he's the
Yeah.
funniest. So because people never ever, and Maya Angelou said this, and I'm paraphrasing, they don't care what you say, they don't care what you do.
Mm-hmm.
What they care about is how you make them feel.
Right.
And that's just who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Through and through. So to make people feel good through the work that God has called me to do, to make them feel good through that work means the world to me. So that's what that said to me.
Yeah, that was I love that video because one, it just shows because that's your husband in the video with you.
Yeah.
And did he went on tour with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went everywhere I went.
And it's like one of the toughest things for me in the beginning, and I'm getting better at it now, was to be able to balance like life, personal life, and business.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's no balance.
I guess intertwine and do both and keep them, pay enough attention to both to where one of the sides are not leaning left or right.
They will lean. One
will.
side will always lean.
Oh, please.
It'll never be balanced.
Can you give me a word really quick on that?
Yes, I can. I'm glad you said that. So you can just get that out of your head and live your life and be happy. If you are spending, let's say, 12 hours a day lying in bed with your significant other, your sweet, wonderful girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
you're not making money.
Mm-hmm.
You're not making money because you haven't built anything that would run without you.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, if you have spent 12 hours a day and may occasionally see your significant other,
Mm-hmm.
then guess what? Your relationship is suffering. because it's like, when are we going to spend time together? You're always working. Da, da,
Yeah.
da, da. But you're building something.
Yeah.
There's a time for everything.
Seasons.
Seasons.
Yeah.
There were times when my husband would get off the road, because he travels for a living. He would get off the road and I'd be still up in the middle of the night working on my business, because
Right.
I wanted it to be where it would run without me. I could be serving people in another country and I'm sleeping, but I'm serving them because they bought a book or they bought this or they bought that, and that's what I was working on.
Right. And now you can spend all the time in the world
Exactly.
with family.
Exactly.
Because of, I guess,
it's a season. Everything is
yeah,
a time and a place
it's
for
that
that.
season. Yeah. I
So
love
don't
it.
try to
Love it.
balance it. It's not going to balance. It's not going to
Yeah.
balance out.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I'm sure a lot of my viewers are gonna find a lot of value in that, because it's, I know if I'm feeling it, I know there's a lot of other people out there that was
It's not
feeling
going to
it as
balance
well.
out.
So, yeah. Okay. I have another video.
I want an 8-figure business. What have you done? Who have you become? What does your resume look like? How many times have you started over and you want somebody to pay you premium? And you haven't completed anything. When things get hard, you ditching them. I'm done. You got to keep going. This is the most important. The doing. I was in this phase for 20 years. I was here on this stage 34 years ago. Y'all just not seeing me. But I had to hang out here for a minute.
You came at them heavy.
Whoa.
Yeah. And they felt that. I felt that when I looked.
I felt that just
Yeah.
now. Like, oh my God. I felt that.
Like, because you're a testimony for where you're at right now, and
I felt that.
yeah. I've seen you talk about this. Do have. I like the first time you talked about it. It resonated with me so well because I was in the season of doing, so that I can become, and
But that's backwards. I'm so not your normal coach, right?
Right.
So you don't do first. You
Mm.
become first.
Ooh.
You become first. It's an identity thing first. Remember, I told you I had clients to make $1 million, within a year, 8 months time. I've had all these clients to do, 6-figure weeks,
Yeah.
things like that. And they ended up back where they started from. They did the work. They had the things, but they never became the person. You got to become. It's an identity first.
Yeah.
They suffered an identity crisis.
How would you recommend someone? What does it take to become the person? Whatever it is.
To become the person. I don't care who it is that you want to become.
Mm-hmm.
To become the person, you have to spend time with yourself. That's my 5 a.m. hour. I mean, it could be a different time for you or anybody else, but that's just my hour. It's the first hour of the day. It belongs to me. It belongs to me becoming the person. You have to own that identity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you own it first. Let's just, for example, if you want to drive a Porsche, right? If you want to drive a Porsche, you have to go to the dealership first. You have to sit in that Porsche. You have to let the salesman tell you about the bells and the whistles. You have to smell it. You have to do all the things that Porsche owners do. You have to buy the coffee mug first. Drink from the coffee mug. Right on the coffee mug, I am a Porsche owner. Drink from it every day.
Okay.
Buy a Porsche hat, right? You're becoming that person.
Yeah.
Like when you see Denzel Washington acting, Jamie Foxx, I really thought he was Ray Charles in that movie.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I couldn't, my brain just couldn't separate the two.
Yeah.
He became the person
Yeah.
to do the thing, which was to act,
Mm-hmm.
to have, which was the money he got paid for acting. But he took on that identity first.
Yeah.
You take the identity on before you do anything. You don't do first. You don't have first. You be first.
I had it all wrong.
He said I had it all
I
wrong.
had it all wrong. Wow.
Is that easy? Is that simple? I mean, I talk about it in the book. Is that simple?
Yeah.
Like you walk around and you embody that thing. Your brain does not know the difference between reality and acting.
Right.
It just doesn't. We have millions and millions, maybe trillions of cells in our bodies that listen and they eavesdrop on every single thing we say, do, and feel. Our emotions, they're listening. They're feeling that. That's what we call vibe or energy. So if we don't say it with our mouth, if we don't say it, but we're dragging around all day long, like, we don't have to say I'm tired. But guess what?
Yeah.
You've taken on that identity of a tired person. So then what's going to happen? Your shoulders are going to droop. You know, your bank account's going to be tired. Everything around you is going to be tired. You didn't have to say, I'm tired.
Right.
You know, a lot of people say, speak it till it. No, you got to speak it.
What are you doing? What is your activity? What are you being every day?
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to become or stay.
Yes. And it's that simple. And things will just start lining up.
Y'all, I'm going to be leaving this podcast a changed person. I'm actually already am
Good.
a changed person. And T-Mac, like, can you, if there's anything you want to tell to your viewers or our viewers, like, what would it be? What would be a drop?
What I'm going to say is so easy and simple that the people that hear this will make it so complicated. But this is what I tell all 7 of our kids and 6 of our grandkids. Do what makes you happy. That's it.
That's it. Wow, we're gonna end it right there. If you guys look, I'm trying to find words right now. And like you said, don't overcomplicate what she just said. Because I know, like she said, a lot of people are gonna try to. Don't overcomplicate it. It's just that simple. Do what makes you happy. But where can people find you on social media?
Instagram, TMac Inspired or TMac _Inspired, something like that.
Okay.
Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all the things. I periodically check in.
Okay. So you guys, y'all can find her in a number of ways.
Yeah.
You can look her up. You can find her book on her social media. I'm also going to post a link to her book in the description. So if you guys are interested in buying this book, We Should All Be Rich Friends, check it out. I haven't even read it yet, but I know it's golden here. I know it is. But T-Mac, I want to thank you.
Thank you
for your time. I appreciate you for stopping through. I know the things you could be doing otherwise, but this
was fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
But until next time, y'all, we'll see you on the next episode of Platform. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this episode, please share it with people that you feel like this would resonate with. And we'll see you on the next one.